Western civilization, and which is today ruling the world, and which is today waging war on Islam while telling monstrous lies. The Quran anticipated the emergence of this Judeo-Christian alliance 1400 years ago. And the Quran prohibited Muslims from being friends and allies of such people. I can be a friend of a Christian, of course. I can be a friend of a Jew, of course. I can establish an alliance with a Christian or a Jew. But I'm not allowed to have such relations with a Christian or with a Jew if they belong to that alliance. They are supporters of that alliance. And therefore, they are supporters of those who are today waging war on Islam. The heart of that Christian-Jewish alliance is its support for the state of Israel. And so any Muslim who becomes a supporter of that alliance, modern Western civilization, the Quran no longer recognizes you as a Muslim. You're now a part of that Jamaat, not this. Now then, if Germany is a part of modern Western civilization, how do we explain the German persecution of Jews? And do we justify the German persecution of Jews? The historian will have to ask the question, how did the German people treat the Jews for centuries? Was the German treatment of the Jew different from that of the rest of Europe? Did the Jews prosper in Germany more than they prospered in all the rest of Europe? This is research that anyone can do on the internet. Did the Jews return that German friendship and that German hospitality, which was different from the rest of Europe? Did they return it by showing friendship for Germany, or did they betray that friendship with Germany? What was the reason for German anger against the Jews? I'm only asking questions. Was there a First World War? Did Germany enter the First World War? Was Germany winning the First World War? Did German submarines command the seas? Did German submarines succeed in marooning Britain? Was Britain on the verge of defeat? This is historical data, anybody could check it out. And then, was there a very strange and unexpected actor that entered into the war and turned the fortunes of the war around? How do we explain the United States entering the war on the side of Britain and France and Russia? Did the Jew have any role to play in that decision of the United States? Guess who we should ask that question to? The best man to answer that question in the world. A man named Henry Ford. Yeah, just go and ask Henry Ford. Henry Ford was so angry of what the Jews had done to bring the United States into the war against the wishes of the American people, and therefore turned the fortunes of the war, that Henry Ford brought together a group of scholars to research, impeccable research, and to produce a massive book. That book is banned in the United States, of course, but it's available in KL. Yeah, you can get it in KL. 4 volumes, The International Jew. If you read that book, you will see that there was a secret Jewish role in turning the tide in the United States and bringing the United States into the war on the side of Britain and France, and therefore saving Britain from defeat. But there was a quid pro quo that we would bring the United States into the war on your side and you will defeat Germany. But in return, you're going to have to promise the Holy Land to us. And so Britain said, deal. And that is the explanation of the Balfour Declaration. Germany didn't know this. Germany did not know that the Jews in Germany, who prospered in Germany, who had more freedom in Germany than in the rest of Europe, that these same people had stabbed Germany in the back. They never knew it. Until the Versailles Conference, 1919. The biggest delegation in that conference were the Jews. And when the Germans got to know of the role which the Jews had played in the First World War, and the role which had been played in the collapse of the German money, then there was overwhelming anger, German anger against the Jews. Hitler was not an accidental phenomenon. No. It was the whole German nation which was up to its throat in anger and disgust. That is the historical setting that explains how the Germans responded with such hostility to the Jews. But there's also another chapter of this book ought to be written, and that is the role of the Zionist movement. The role of the Zionist movement in what today is called the Holocaust. There is evidence, historical evidence, that the Zionist movement could have intervened to save Jews who were going to be under German control, and did not, because the events which unfolded in Germany helped the Zionist movement in its effort to get Jews to leave Europe and migrate to the Holy Land. You asked one question already. Question
nobody else to ask question.
Yes, I have a question to ask. Maybe it's a silly question, but I still got to ask you.
Never mind.
Brother, I forgot the name. Father
Imran.
Sheikh Imran. If I'm mistaken, you correct me. You just said God gave the Holy Land to the Jews.
Yes.
So why are the Arabs wanting to destroy Israel when God gave them the land?
Okay, good question.
And then,
No, one at a time.
what are the boundaries of the Holy Land?
Oh, good question. Good question. Okay. The Quran says in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse number 24. I have hope for him, inshallah. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. It means that you have not read this book as yet, huh? يا قوم ادخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم إلى آخر الآية. Musa alayhi salam, the prophet Moses, addresses the Israelite people. Is after he'd gone up the mountain, Mount Sinai, not the hospital in Manhattan, the mountain, he spoke to God, came back down with the stone tablet, 10 Commandments, came back down, he found them worshipping golden calf. They're still worshipping the golden calf up to now. And then after the punishment came, and he had cleansed them, then he addressed them and he said, "Oh my people, come on, rise up. Let us enter, let us fight, and let us take control of the Holy Land which Allah gave to you. This is the Quran. Okay. Question. Did Allah give the land to them unconditionally? No. In Surah Al-Anbiya, Allah speaks and He says, وَلَقَدْ كَتَبْنَا فِي الزَّبُورِ مِنْ بَعْدِ الذِّكْرِ أَنَّ الْأَرْضَ يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ. That I declared it in the Torah, and I declared it in the Zabur, which came after the Torah, and I'm now declaring it one more time in this Quran, that the Holy Land will be inherited by those who are my servants and who are righteous in conduct. So you have to have faith in the religion of Abraham. The Jews had that faith in the religion of Abraham. But number two, you had to be righteous in conduct. Okay? All right. Someone rewrote the Bible. And they rewrote what Allah stated in the Bible. And said that it is not because of righteousness that the Lord your God has given you this holy land to inherit. For you are a stiff-necked people. This is in the Bible. In the Old Testament, the Torah. Meaning, righteousness is not a condition of your inheritance of the Holy Land. The Holy Land has been given to you unconditionally. Whether you believe in God or you eat pork, it's still yours. Whether you are righteous in conduct or you oppress the Palestinians, it's still yours. That's false. Allah responded in the Quran by every time that they were unrighteous in their conduct, every time they were wicked in their conduct, He threw them out. The first time was when they were in Sinai. And when Moses said to them, come on, let's fight, let's take control of the Holy Land, they said, not we. You and your Lord both all you go and fight, we're going to stay right here. It's in the Quran. You and your Lord go and fight, we're going to stay right here. So Allah responded. The Holy Land was given to them, but Allah threw them out for how long? Come on, answer me. 40 years. 40 years. That's the first one. And then after the death of Sulaiman alayhi salam, when the Torah was rewritten, to remove all references of Abraham going to Arabia, all rubbed off. To remove all references of Ismail being taken to Arabia. To remove all references of the sacrifice being Ismail, removed. To remove all references of Zamzam being in Arabia, is removed, now in Palestine. To remove all references to the temple being built in Arabia, it's gone. To remove all references to the Hajj being established by Abraham, that's gone. To remove Ishmael from this covenant with Allah. No, he's a wild ass of a man. That's what the Bible says, huh? His hand against every man and every man's hand against him. Therefore the war on the Arabs today. When they did all of these things, and do not lend money on interest to your brother Jews. That's bad. But you could lend money on interest to the rest of mankind. That's okay.